To rent, to buy, to rent, to buy. Once you watch this video, it's pretty much going to be a no-brainer which one you should be doing. Stay tuned. Hey, and welcome to another video. You have a deposit and you're wondering to yourself, do I buy a house for me to live in or do I buy a buy-to-let? And there's probably loads of questions going through your mind. And you know what? I can totally relate because I was there once too. But it is a no-brainer, and it will be, and you will understand how so once you finish watching this video, so stay tuned until the end. Now, first of all, you cannot answer this question without looking at assets and liabilities, because one of those houses is an asset and one of those houses is a liability. And I'm going to educate you just a little bit and drop a little bit of investment advice on you so you could understand which one you need to be going with. Now, an asset, right? What is an asset? An asset pays you money. You make money when you hold assets. Whereas what's a liability? A liability spends your money. It takes your money. Assets and liabilities is not just about when you're buying a house, but it's about many other areas in your life. Let me tell you, honey, you need to know and understand the difference as you go about your normal daily life anyway. Now, a liability spends your money, okay? And you're not making a return on it. So you're spending without getting anything. And to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, let's look at some assets and then let's look at some liabilities, right? An asset is a house. It's an investment, like some kind of stocks or shareholding or maybe Bitcoin. It's something along those lines where when you put your money in and it works, and then eventually that money starts coming out and paying you. Returns different depending on where you are going to get your investment, but generally you are making money on your money. Your money's working for you. With a liability, you're spending money, just dashing the money, throwing the money out, and you're not making any money back on it. What is that? A car? A house, or maybe a new hairdo, or a nice fresh outfit, or shoes. There's so many liabilities that people spend money on, and none of this rakes the money back in. Maybe a Rolex. A Rolex, I don't got one on, but a Rolex could potentially be an asset. So I don't want to say that, because the right watch can actually appreciate in value, but generally depreciate in value, they don't hold value, and therefore once you spend that money once, it's gone forever. Now with property, it's a similar thing. Let's pretend that you have a deposit, a certain amount, maybe 20,000, 30,000, 50,000, depending on where you are, but you have enough money to put a deposit down on a house. Now the question becomes, what house are you going to put that money down on? Are you going to put it down on a house that you're going to live in, or are you going to put it down on a house that you're not going to live in but your tenants are going to live in? You probably answered it yourself already by now, because it's clear that if I had a deposit, I would be buying a house for tenants to live in. Why? Because this house is going to pay me over and over and over again. And not only is it going to pay me monthly, but it's also going to pay me in cash appreciation, where the house value is going to go up in value, and eventually those coins are going to stack up because the house is going up in value. Therefore, when you're ready to sell that house, that deposit that you put in at 50 or whatever it is, and that house value is now gone up, when you sell that house, you're going to get all that money back and some, minus your mortgage loan. So it's somewhat a no-brainer. Whereas if you're buying a house that you are going to live in, you are going to get that deposit and put it down. Okay, you're going to get a loan to buy the rest of that house, just like you would with a buy-to-let as well. So let me make no mistake, you still would get a loan for the buy-to-let, but the house that you're living in, when you put that money down in that house and then you get your loan, you're going to have to service that loan every month. So every month you're going to have to put money into that so you can pay for that mortgage. And let's just say it's £1,000 a month. So every month you're paying £1,000 to pay for that mortgage, right? So this is money coming out. And yes, you've got a nice house and you're living somewhere where you wanted, and you've got the best back garden you've always wanted, and you've got the attic room, and you've got things laid out just the way you want. You're spending £1,000 a month that you have to go and find that money from somewhere to pay for it. You're going to have to go to work. You're going to have to maybe ask mum and dad for help every now and then. I mean, the way how the economy is going, things are challenging, and we are just coming out of Corona epidemic. or is it the pandemic? I don't forget now. The pandemic. We're coming out of the corona pandemic, and things are tight for people who have been on furlough for all this time and may not be able to service certain mortgages. Whereas if this was a buy-to-let, then you don't have to find money for that property every month. You know why? Because your tenant's going to pay for it. So you're going to put that deposit down, you're going to get a loan, and guess who's going to service that loan? Your tenant. That's right. Your tenant's going to service that loan because they are paying rent. And from that money that's coming in every single month, you're going to just pay off your mortgage, and then you will have money left over, which you can stack, you can use it to buy your car, or you can put it aside. Now, if you're sensible, you'd be thinking about putting that money aside, because I presume at some point you're going to want to buy your house, right? So what you can do is reuse that money. So the money you've got coming out of that house, put that into an account somewhere, and when it builds up enough to be another deposit, you can go again and buy another house. It may be 3, 4, 5 years before you get another house, but guess what? At least you own assets. Now, there's another way to do that process so much more quicker, and if you stay tuned longer, I will do a video on that process, which is called buy, renovate, refinance, and you will absolutely love how the whole process works. It's fantastic. You can use one set of money and you recycle it to buy more and more and more property. It's a really great way, and loads of people are doing it at the moment, and you can do it too if you stay tuned to these videos, because I will be telling you about it. The core thing about this video is finding out whether you should buy your own home first or buy your buy-to-let. And to me, it's a no-brainer. You always build up your assets first. You want to look at how you can create an extra income and then build that up to eventually get your own house. Now, you can also look at how many assets do I need to replace my income. There's a few ways you can look at this. That's one question. Or your question is how much money do I need, or how much properties will I need to be able to save a deposit to get my own property? If you're already working and you've got your rental money, your rental income coming in, then you can just stack and stack and stack, and eventually you'll have enough money in no time to eventually get your own home. But always have an idea of what number you're trying to replace before you go and buy your own home. So if you're earning £2,000 a month, or £1,500 a month, or £3,000 a month, whatever it be, you would need a certain amount of properties to replace that income so you can then be free. And that's how it works. But also, not just replacing what your income is, but you want to look at your expenses too. So although you may earn £3,000 a month, that doesn't mean your expenses are £3,000 a month. I mean, some people do live frivolously. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm definitely not one of those. And I will start doing some videos on how I am so resourceful. I'm so resourceful. I'm gonna do a video on how you can do that too. Hotline. What you want to do is look at what your expenses are, and what kind of expenses are those. I mean, your accommodation, where you're staying now, maybe your car expenses, your fuel, your utility bills, any nursery fees you may have, basically everything that you spend on a monthly basis. You want to add that all up and you will see the monthly amount. Okay, now sometimes what you could do is also cut that down. There's a lot of subscriptions we sign up to. I mean, you can have the best Netflix. Some people have the best YouTube subscriptions. It's just over the top, right? It's just too much. So you can go back through that list and feel, right, what's going on? What is coming out of my money? What is coming out of my bank account every single month? Collate that all down, and you can realize where I don't need that magazine anymore, and just start deducting. Once you've done your deduction, you'll get to look at what your real amount is that you need to be able to live and survive. Once you get to that figure, then you know, if I can earn £3,000 a month, that's enough for me to be able to quit my job and buy my own house eventually. Does that make sense? What you want to do is look at what you have coming in, so you can factor that in, so you know how many investment properties you need to be able to retire. Not that you're retiring, but you're just taking a step back from work and seeing what other options you have, because now your rental income is paying your way. Even if you're paying rent on a month-by-month basis, at the end of the day, your aim is to have your money working for you. Another thing is, you'd want to come away from the one mindset of rental income when you own a buy-to-let. That's not the only way you make money. Another way you make money is by the property going up in value. That is key. So keep those things into consideration. I hope you found this video useful. Are you in a situation right now where you have a deposit, you don't know what to do with it? Do I buy my house? Do I buy a buy-to-let? And you're kind of toying between the two. Comment down below and let me know what you think about this video and whether it helped you make a decision or not, because there are quite a lot of things to take into consideration. But if you just take the time to look at things, explore the area, see what buy-to-let properties are out there, and see how your money can work for you, you can quickly establish that that deposit can be recycled and you can buy a number of properties and then ultimately get to your goal to owning your own property eventually. But you know, until then, stack, buy your buy-to-let and get money. Please stay tuned for more videos just like this. If you want to see any other content, just comment down below. This is a brand new YouTube channel and I'm so excited. I love recording these videos and I hope you guys love watching these videos too. But get involved, talk, let's interact. Tell me about what you think about these videos and what content do you want to see. I hope you've enjoyed this video. You take care and I'll see you in another video. Bye.